This video is based on the technical analysis of Ger40 and we're on the daily chart. The last time we spoke about this particular index, we had mentioned that long term we expect Ger40 to be bearish, and that is because technically at this point in time Germany is in a technical recession, and so we expect this index to also accordingly move further down. However, given the recent tension between both Israel and Palestine, we've seen this particular index become somewhat strong, right? And it is because gold has been strong, right? And also, if you were to look at the relationship between indices and commodities, especially gold, you would see that gold moves in the same direction as indices, and as a result we're seeing a stronger Ger40, right? So what normally happens is that whenever there's conflict in the Middle East, a lot of traders and investors actually run onto gold, as gold is considered as a safe haven in as far as trading and investing goes. And as I said, because there is a correlation between gold and indices, when gold moves up, generally speaking, indices also move up, right? So that's why over the last few days we've seen a strong Ger40. And so guys, without wasting any further time, let's get straight into the actual technical analysis. And as I said, we are on the daily chart, and on the daily chart we can see that the market is in a downtrend, and for the most part, as I had said previously, we were supposed to be just looking for sell opportunities, but given recent developments at this point in time, I believe that we should start to look for buy opportunities. That is also supported by the fact that if you were to look at this chart, we have what is an over extended W formation or double bottom over there, which has a neckline more or less at that point, and we can see that price is actually closed sufficiently above the neckline. So what we want to see happen next is actually price moving further down to the neckline to give it a test, just to see if that neckline aligns with any key numbers that we have in regards to the Fibonacci retracement tool, right? So let's just utilize Fibonacci and see if we actually have any numbers that align with the Fibonacci, right? So just bear with me, guys, right? And we can see more or less that in regards to the Fibonacci retracement tool, the neckline of this W structure, which is over here, aligns with the 23.6% Fibonacci retracement level, right? So what I'm saying in other words is that your price from where it is actually move further down to where we have the neckline of that W structure or double bottom, which is over here. At this point is where I believe we should consider looking for buy opportunities, right? We should consider looking for buy opportunities, right? So what else do we see in regards to the daily chart of Ger40? Another thing that I also see that is very much interesting and important is the fact that as much as the market had given us this double bottom over here, it had also given us this double top over here, right? And what this means is that at this point in time, we seem to have some contradictory information in that we have an M structure as well as a W structure, and they both have necklines at more or less or in more or less the same areas. And this means that actually, in hindsight, buying or selling within this region is a bit tricky, as the market may go in either direction. But given what I said earlier about how strong gold is currently, and that gold or rather indices move in the same direction as gold, generally speaking, my bias at this point in time is for us to look for buy opportunities. Another thing that I also want to bring to your attention is that as much as I've said that, at this point in time, the market is at a very strong level of resistance. As you guys can see, as we've had multiple rejections at this point, and as I said, we may see price move that down to that level. And if it does so, at this point is where I believe we should consider looking for buy opportunities, right? Another thing that motivates for why we should look for potential buy opportunities is that if you were to look at the structure over here, which is a double top, remember that a lot of traders and investors usually sell on that second leg of that double top, and they place their stop losses at that point. So we have a lot of stop losses located here, right? A lot of money located here in the form of stop losses, and you guys know that the markets will always go to where the money is, right? So there is plenty of scope for the market to move further up to grab all of those stop losses. In addition to that, we also have this candlestick over here. What it is, guys, is a bullish candlestick with a small body and quite a long upper wick, right? And we know that at the top where that wick ends or starts, we have a lot of liquidity there. We have another one here which is carrying a lot of liquidity, and similarly we have another one here that's similarly carrying a lot of liquidity. So there is a lot of money within this block over here due to those stop losses that I spoke about that are here, as well as the liquidity associated with these candlesticks that I spoke about. So guys, there is plenty of scope for the markets to actually move further up, right? Having said all this, I'm not saying that we should just buy. All I'm saying at this point in time is that for the most part, we should be looking for potential buy opportunities, which means that we should look for further reasons, right, for why we should be potentially buying, right? Anyway, from here, what I'm going to do is head down to the H4 chart and let's see what's happening in regards to the H4 chart. And just bear with me while I adjust my channel. And guys, remember, or rather, just to recap, remember on the daily chart we spoke about the fact that we had this W structure which has a neckline over here. We spoke about how price at this point in time is at a very strong level of resistance, as we had had multiple rejections at that level, and that at this point we may potentially see price move further down to around this level. And if it does so at this level is where we would look for potential buy opportunities, because it is the neckline of that W structure as well as a very strong level of support. To add to that, the line also aligns with a key number that we have in regards to the Fibonacci retracement tool, right? Another thing that we had mentioned is that the market had given us, if I can just draw it, this M structure, and we said that a lot of traders and investors actually sold at this point, placing their stop losses just above, right? And we also mentioned that we have those three candlesticks, right, that are carrying a lot of liquidity at that point, and that we have a lot of money at that point that needs to be triggered by the market, right? But anyway, let's zoom in. Here we are on the H4 chart. What else do we see, guys, in regards to the H4 chart? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. In regards to the H4 chart, we can see that we are in an upward trending market, right? And remember, guys, we said that at this point we want to see price at least come down to this level, and at that level is where we would look for potential buy opportunities. Just also note that we also have this candlestick over here. It's a bearish candlestick with a small body and quite a long lower wick, and it means we have a lot of money stuck there because it is a liquidity candlestick. And as much as I'm saying that we expect price to come back to the neckline, remember that the neckline is not a line like I have here, right? The neckline is an area, right? So we could say, in other words, that this whole area over here, right, is the neckline of that huge W structure. So it is quite possible that we may see price move further down to grab the liquidity associated with that candlestick, and then from there we may potentially see the market continue to move further up.